welcome to Paging Creatives. I am your host, Bella. Pursuing a creative career can be a frustrating, isolating journey. So I sit down with artists forging their own paths in hopes to inspire, encourage, educate you, and create a community of artists where we come together and even network and further our creative endeavors. Today, I have Michael Dauber. She is episode number 11. Welcome. Hi.
Hello. Happy to
Let's
be
jump
here.
right in. Tell me
All
where
right.
you're from. Give me your background.
I am born in Baldwin Park, California. I'm a Los Angeles County, Southern California native. Grew up in Claremont. Went to Claremont High School. Went to school in Northern California at UC Davis, and I made my way back from Northern California back to Los Angeles to be around my family and kind of establish the beginning of my adulthood down here. So
I think that you have an interesting journey because you didn't start out as an artist. What were you
No.
supposed to do? Or what did your parents think
No.
you were gonna do?
I dedicated a lot of time telling my parents that I wanted to be an astrophysicist. That was what I had like an obsession with, was space. I used to watch like NASA on TV. I don't know. I was kind of into math, science. That was totally my background. And I said, well, what can I do? Space. This is awesome. Spent a lot of time trying to study for that, think about that. Still stayed with science, but focused more on biology because I realized that physics is really hard and math is really hard. So I was like, what is the minimum amount that I could do but still be involved in science? And I kind of then did like an internship at Loma Linda University for cancer research. I thought that was going to be cool, like radiation technology kind of stuff. Not to be boring, but I went to college. I did biology then too, and I had enough. I got really tired. I was stressed out all the time. I didn't feel like I had any like creative outlets at all. I dipped my toe in the water, but I never had anybody telling me to take it seriously. It was always something, yeah, you can do this, but put it on the back burner. So I had convinced myself and everybody else around me that biology was my number one thing.
I think it's interesting. You're from here, and most of us are not. And we always think, well, if I was from here, then when I was 2, I would have been into it. I would have been in commercials. I would have been in all of that. Did your parents ever either shy you away from it or try to put you in it when you were younger, since you're right here?
They didn't think about it at all. Not at all. My parents are both from LA too. Their parents either came here to Los Angeles from a different country or like were also already here. Nobody had that perspective about Los Angeles at all. No, I don't have a single person in my family that's in any kind of creative field at all. Not at all. My mom, her background, she grew up in Inglewood and then Laverne. Became a police officer. She was a sheriff, just right out of high school. My dad, out of high school, went to Sac State, undergrad. They were all academic or law enforcement. He became a prosecutor. Nobody was thinking about any kind of creative stuff like that at all. And to your point, I really wish that they did. They were right here. They had every single resource. I even meet people today who are living here now. They have children and their kids are like 2 years old. They're ready to put them in stuff. Kind of wish that I had that kind of background, or at least somebody kind of encouraging me in that way. But they told me to take stuff really seriously. Their belief in success was through education and boundaries and books and following the normal protocol of life. And so just growing up in LA, I never thought about that kind of creative field at all. I didn't know anybody in my high school that was doing anything like that. I take that back. There was one person that was he's on Cobra Kai now. It's crazy. But he was never at school. And that was like a weird thing. That guy is weird. He's never at school. He's in Hollywood. Like he doesn't go to school. He's always busy. He's an actor. What does that mean? Nobody thought about that kind of stuff at all. And geez, I wish I would have had a little something encouraging me to kind of branch out sooner, because damn, it's so hard to do as an adult. It's really hard.
People say that, and it is, but everything's hard. If you wanted to start a cupcake business, that would be hard. I feel like it's just going to be a challenge. But tell me, how did you start? What got you into it, and what made you think, actually, I want to do something creative instead?
Burnout was what got me started. I graduated UC Davis in 2021, and it was the middle of the pandemic, so I finished my last year of school completely online. I was supposed to join this anthropology, or it was an archaeology excavation like internship that I got a part of. I was super excited about that, and then everything kind of got canceled, and I kind of had the wind sucked out of my sails. I graduated, closed my laptop, really weird experience. And I was like, what am I going to do now? I totally lost the passion that I had for anthropology. And in the past, I had done some like theater stuff. I had done some singing stuff. And I was like, if there's going to be a time in my life to have time to do nothing and think about everything, that was the time. And I was kind of like, I remembered I had done one background job when I was 16 or 17 years old. I literally missed like a day of high school, and it was really fun. And I remembered that. And I remembered central casting, and I just looked it up online. I was like, how difficult is it to start this all over again? And I just kind of signed up, took my pictures, and then just like got a background job. And I was just another way for me to put money in my pocket. And I just wanted to see what production was like. I actually had no intention of acting at all, really. I had met a friend, to answer your question. I was going to LA all the time, like downtown, hanging out with some people, and I saw people in the industry for the first time, like at 22, 21, seeing people that had a place to go to every day, a studio. One day, this girl, a mutual friend, asked me to drop her off at Fox, and she was just going to go get a COVID test. This is when we were doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going onto the lot. This is so cool. What the hell is this? I was like, I want to be here. I want to do this. I was working a retail job. So, I was just putting some money in my pocket after graduating. And I said, is there any way that you can get me to come here and do this? She's like, oh, yeah, I'm a PA. At the time, I didn't know what that meant, what that entails. Do I necessarily want to do that right now? Like, no, but I really respected that. She's like, yeah, I can get you to be a PA and everything. And that didn't really work out. But when I found out about central casting on my own, I said, this is a fantastic way for me to get onto a set, learn about each role and position, and just kind of be there and absorb and see what I want to do after that. Because I didn't have any orientation or like specific goal. I was just trying to broaden my personal interests, because the truth is that I just really didn't know. I still don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing.
You do. I feel like your journey has been interesting, because it seems like a lot of things just come kind of easy. A lot of people do background for a very long time before they're able to make the jump into stand in. Stand in pays more. It's more.
Mm-hmm.
It pays more, and it has more stability. And then even from that, like getting bumped up and getting roles. So what can you say to inspire someone who is probably on the 9 to 5 track? They want to jump out and do something creative, but they kind of don't know what to do. Do you think it was just taking the leap and then, things just happened? Or how do you think that came about?
I think it was a combination of circumstance and like taking the leap. I would say if you're tired, if you're frustrated, I wouldn't go out of your way to quit your job or something. I wouldn't like throw it all away in one instance, but I would try to pencil in some time for your creative endeavors. Just try really hard. Sit and give yourself maybe 10 minutes at the end of the day. Think about what did I do today? What did I want to do? Some sort of self-reflection that can help you broaden your interest more than just the thing that you feel like you have to do every day to put food on the table. Because those are different priorities, right? And when you people end up putting their interests on the back burner and to prioritize money, stability, and it's really hard to just throw everything away and be like, I'm gonna do what I want to. Um, I don't know. I would just say take the opportunity that comes to you. If you feel like joining an extracurricular group as an adult, maybe talking to people more outside of your workspace, outside of the bubble that you're already in, that's I think that's important. I wish I had a more clear way to explain how how I ended up in this position, but it was really from frustration. It was just from like being at my wits end, really. That, to be completely honest with you, it wasn't like I was looking for anything, just something else to do that just allowed me to expand my mind a bit because I thought I was going crazy a little bit.
No, I think that's good. A lot of things are born out of frustration.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I also think people get a little. I have never been in a situation where I've had a job, or either I've had it for a really short amount of time. I think I told you I got a job as a technical writer because I can write. I like creative writing.
you have talked to me about that.
Right. I got a job as a technical writer, had my own office, paid really well. But literally, Tara called me and she was like, "Do you want to come do stand-in?" I quit that job that day because I've never had that stability of just like, oh, I know where this check is coming from every 2 weeks. So I know that sometimes that can be hard for people to take that leap. But I think that just like, I don't know, if you build it, they will come. If you want to just do something creative, I feel like there's enough money out there.
There is, and that's not something I knew until I was already in it. But like, my family and the people I had in my life really made me believe that there are no other options for success or to make money other than things that are linear. And I guess what makes it so difficult for me to give advice to somebody as how to get there is because there's no linear way. And there's no linear way in life for anything at all, but there are ways that are clear that usually have a means to some sort of end.
Yeah. You want to
And
be a doctor, you go to school. You
right,
get this
there's
license,
a
you go do that.
certain list of things that you can do to guarantee yourself a better position. The probability will be higher, right? You like you said, you want to be a doctor, you're going to go to undergrad, you're going to go to med school, do some sort of residency. That's a pretty clear path. In this area, I think the anxiety that comes from it is that lack of stability. You don't necessarily have a guaranteed paycheck. Other people aren't really believing in you necessarily. You have to do it yourself. It's like a certain drive that's completely different to me and extremely respectable, way different than academia at all. I just like I'm still navigating it myself, trying to talk myself out of the anxiety that is, what am I doing? This still isn't linear. What's my next choice that's going to guarantee me something? There isn't like a guarantee. And I really struggle with that aspect of it, but I am having a good time. I think it's fun. It's pushing myself to grow in a way that I just didn't have the skill set at all, like previously. It's just I respect everybody in this industry way so much. It's difficult.
How are you staying encouraged when you don't necessarily have creative parents, creative family that's pushing you to be like, you can do this? So how are you just pushing yourself, you can do this?
I have friends like you.
Thank you.
I have my friends that I grew up with in LA, and believe it or not, they are so encouraging about this kind of thing, especially because we didn't grow up with anybody around us doing something like that. And I really love the way that they support me. It's taken a bit of time, but I love.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's taken a bit of time, but I love the way my family has learned to support me. They still have a little bit of hesitation, but I've been able to show them more proof that it is working a little bit. So they're the kind of see it to believe it people. But family to my relationship has been a huge, I think a proponent of my success and myself last, because it's really it's kind of hard to believe in yourself. But I've learned to at the end of the day, nobody else is going to tell you to keep going. It has to be you.
It does.
It really does. And it's so hard. But I try every day to wake up and do the things that I need to do and like encourage myself, because nobody else, you can lose everybody else around you and it still has to be you. You know, find people that inspire you. For me, it's been like watching films and stuff that I just never had an interest in before. I didn't watch movies or like pay attention to Hollywood really at all. It's kind of insane when I when I think about it, but I love like watching old films and just being inspired and studying actors in that way. But yeah, just trying to find any kind of inspiration from people around you or things that you love.
I love that.
Yeah.
So my closing question is, and I'll answer it first, because of the strike, what would you add to the contracts? I would say the DGA contract came up and they got everything that they wanted. They stick together. I would say for us, I would want SAG. I would want people to vote more. Only maybe 20-30% of us vote. And I would want us to stick together. Actors tend to be very thirsty people, and I feel like if we stuck together, we could get more of what we wanted. So I wouldn't necessarily add anything to to the contract. The thing I would add is just for us to stick together more. What would yours be?
I agree with you on that. I saw that statistic. I think Fran Drescher sent out an email congratulating the turnout of 47%, and I haven't been doing this for that long, so I just said 47%. Like, that's not a good enough turnout, you guys. Like, we need to have over 50% of us participating in this in this industry if we're going to move forward, especially with our strike authorization. What do I think that they need to do or include? Don't let AI sweep you under the rug, you guys. Don't do it. I had a really interesting conversation with somebody about AI and the progression of that, and I think that everybody, we have a little bit to be concerned about there, and don't let them replace your job.
Well, I think that's good. That's a great answer, and we're being more forward thinking this time. They are including that.
Yeah.
So you will get that. You will get that. You will get that. We will get that.
We'll get that.
Thank you for sitting down with me. Tell everybody where they can find you, and I'll link it too.
Okay, you can find me at M7A7D7 for mostly anything at all. My name is Michael Dauber. Yeah, I had a really good time today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and are listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the stuff. It really helps the channel. Creatives, your art brings light and love into the world, and I love and support you. Till next time.
I just want